This was entrapment. This was trying to bury and to suppress your political rivals, all to maintain power in Washington, D.C.
There you have all three of those lawmakers joining us live this morning. So welcome back to Wake Up America. Outrage on Capitol Hill. Republicans say the Biden Justice Department went much further than previously known to investigate alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
Yeah, Congressman Byron Donalds of Florida says it's worse than Watergate, and he joins us live now this morning. Congressman, great to see you. Why do you believe this is worse than Watergate? Can you elaborate and tell us, where does this investigation stand now?
Of course. I mean, look, Watergate was a break-in at the Watergate Hotel to look at some files. That's what it was. And obviously there were connections to President Nixon at the time. What this was President Biden using Merrick Garland, Jack Smith, Judge Boasberg. They were getting subpoenas on United States senators. They were, without notifying them, which is federal law, they were subpoenaing their phone records, their phone records, and access to who they were communicating with. This was a wide net thrown hunting for a crime with no probable cause. This is significantly worse than anything that Watergate was doing. Then you couple that with the fact that, yes, there was, in my view, a scheme to charge President Trump to stop him from winning re-election. Obviously, they failed. We're very thankful that they failed. And Donald Trump's presidency already is significantly better than anything Joe Biden or Kamala Harris was doing. But that doesn't mean that because you have an election victory, you just turn the page and move forward. This depth of corruption that was allowed under the Biden administration, because the Democrats just want to maintain power at all costs, not only has to be exposed, people have to be held accountable. That starts with impeachment of Judge Boasberg.
Yeah, you just mentioned that Judge Boasberg, and he signed off on the subpoenas, the warrants against Senate Republicans. But so tell me here, how widespread was this investigation? I mean, you got Republican senators, organizations, think tanks. I mean, was anybody off limits for them?
It appears that everybody was open to having their private records being basically being scrubbed through by the radical left on their political plot to stop Donald Trump. I mean, this is if this isn't un-American, I don't know what is. And I think people have to take this incredibly seriously. We are. Obviously, you have shutdown and everything else going on in the country, but we cannot ignore this stuff, this issue. I'm so glad that my colleague in Texas, Brandon Gills, is leading the effort in the House towards impeachment. I talked with Senator Johnson when I was in D.C. 2 days ago. One of the things that we did talk about was a House inquiry into this matter, so you could actually expose all of this to the American people, followed by an impeachment vote, because it's clear, as far as I'm concerned, that Judge Boasberg overstepped his bounds issuing those subpoenas. And this was a wide-scale fishing expedition to try to essentially penalize Republicans and try to diminish Republicans' political ability to win the elections in 2024.
I want to pivot while we have you here to this week's election results in the Big Apple. Specifically, self-proclaimed Democrat socialist Zohran Mamdani is going to be the new mayor of New York City. No surprise there, but some New Yorkers say they're ready to flee, and they're doing it in droves. Should they come to the Sunshine State?
Well, look, I think one is, people coming to Florida is not new. They've been coming here for quite some time, and that's really because we've demonstrated in our state that we believe in liberty and freedom, low tax environment, low regulatory environment, and common sense. And that's been ushered in our state by Governor DeSantis. And so people have chosen to come here. I think for other New Yorkers who probably might come, that's because they're looking at the policies of Zohran Mamdani, and they're saying this is absolutely nuts. I would venture to say the people who might want to come here did not vote for Zohran Mamdani. So I know there's a concern about New Yorkers coming in or other people coming in and changing the political framework of Florida. Let me assure you, the political framework of Florida is not changing. It is going to remain as it is today. We're going to continue to be the free state of Florida. And I would argue some of those New Yorkers who are looking to flee because they're just throwing their hands up saying enough is enough, they tend to agree far more with Floridians about the way government should be run than what is happening in New York.
Yeah.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.